Have you heard about the 51 African American women who transformed the world and broke through centuries-old barriers? Introducing Trailblazers who transcended the ordinary narratives found in your average history books, from mathematicians who launched rockets to activists who defied injustice. These women broke barriers, not only for themselves but for generations to come, transforming impossible into milestones and pioneering the way in their fields. Prepare to meet the incredible women who turned impossible into I'm possible. Buckle up for a journey filled with resilience, triumph, and inspiration that celebrates the indomitable spirit of African American women. Greetings and welcome. I'm Carolyn A. from GettingToTheRoots.com, ready to empower you with tips, resources, and tutorials to craft a legacy that's uniquely yours. Let's discover the unique role your family has played in history. Together, let's uncover the stories that have shaped us, celebrate the diversity of our heritage, and ensure that the legacies of our ancestors are remembered and cherished forever. Let's dive in. How did they break barriers? The untold stories of African American women in the 1700s and 1800s. 1. Phyllis Wheatley, 1753 to December 5, 1784. Captured and sold into slavery at the age of 7, Phyllis Wheatley became the first African American and one of the first women to publish a book of poetry in 1773. Her work challenged contemporary attitudes about race and gender, and she was emancipated shortly after her book's publication. 2. Harriet Tubman, 1822 to March 10, 1913. Harriet Tubman was born into slavery but escaped and subsequently made some 13 missions to rescue approximately 70 enslaved people using the network of anti-slavery activists and safe houses known as the Underground Railroad. She also served as a spy and scout for the Union Army during the Civil War. 3. Sojourner Truth, 1797 to November 26, 1883. Sojourner Truth was an African-American abolitionist and women's rights activist, best known for her speech on racial inequalities, Ain't I a Woman?, delivered extemporaneously in 1850, won at the Ohio Women's Rights Convention. She was born into slavery but escaped with her infant daughter to freedom in 1826. 4. Mary Jane Patterson, September 12, 1840, to September 24, 1894. Mary Jane Patterson is recognized as the first African-American woman to receive a Bachelor's of Arts degree, which she earned from Oberlin College in 1862. She was a dedicated educator and became the first Black principal of the newly established preparatory high school for colored youth in Washington, D.C. in 1871. 5. Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, September 24, 1825 to February 22, 1911. An abolitionist, suffragist, poet, teacher, and public speaker, Frances Ellen Watkins Harper was one of the first African American women to be published in the United States. Her work in the 19th century spoke out against slavery and for the rights of women and African Americans. 6. Ida B. Wells, July 16, 1862 to March 25, 1931. Ida B. Wells is well known for her strong activism in the late 1800s and early 1900s, but she was born a slave during the Civil War. She became a key figure against lynching, using her journalism to highlight wrongs, as she was a major leader in fighting for equal rights and the right for women to vote, showing great bravery and leadership. 7. Mary Church Terrell, September 23, 1863 to July 24, 1954. An educator, activist, and the first president of the National Association of Colored Women, Mary Church Terrell was a key figure in the fight for civil rights and suffrage. She was one of the first African American women to earn a college degree and worked tirelessly for the rights of African Americans and women. If you find value in this video, please show your support by liking it, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. This aids in improving our visibility through YouTube's algorithm. Now, let's get back to our video. Who broke new ground? Celebrating African American women pioneers in their professions. 8. Mary Eliza Mahoney, April 16, 1845 to January 4, 1926. Mary Eliza Mahoney made history as the first African American licensed nurse. Her determination and professionalism opened doors for generations of African Americans in nursing, a field that had been predominantly white. Mahoney's legacy is celebrated for her pioneering efforts in nursing education and equality. 9. Maggie Lena Walker, July 15, 1864 to December 15, 1934. Maggie Lena Walker achieved historic success as the first African American woman to charter a bank and serve as its president in the United States. Her leadership of the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank in Richmond, Virginia, broke significant racial and gender barriers in the banking industry, demonstrating her visionary approach to economic empowerment and community development. 10. Bessie Coleman, January 26, 1892 to April 30, 1926. Bessie Coleman shattered racial and gender barriers as the first African American woman to hold a pilot license. Unable to secure pilot training in the United States due to racial and gender discrimination, Coleman learned to fly in France. Her courage and determination opened the skies to future generations of women of all races, making her an iconic figure in the history of aviation. 11. Patricia Roberts Harris, May 31, 1924 to March 23, 1985. Patricia Roberts Harris made history in multiple fields, becoming the first African American woman to serve as a United States ambassador and the first to enter the line of succession to the presidency, serving under President Jimmy Carter as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development and later as Secretary of Health and Human Services. Her illustrious career broke new ground for African American women in politics, law, and academia. 12. Jane Bolin, April 11, 1908 to January 8, 2007. As the first African American woman to graduate from Yale Law School and the first to serve as a judge in the United States, Jane Bolin was a pioneer in the legal field. Throughout her 40-year tenure as a judge, Bolin worked tirelessly to end segregation in child care centers and to ensure fair treatment for African American defendants, marking her as a trailblazer in the pursuit of justice and equality. 13. Dr. Rebecca Crumpler, February 8, 1831 to March 9, 1895. The first African American woman to earn a medical degree in the United States, Dr. Crumpler graduated from the New England Female Medical College in 1864. She dedicated her career to treating the formerly enslaved, who otherwise would have had no access to medical care. 14. Gwendolyn Brooks, June 7, 1917 to December 3, 2000. Gwendolyn Brooks made literary history as the first African American to win a Pulitzer Prize for poetry in 1950. Her profound impact on American literature and the cultural recognition of African American voices in poetry set a precedent for future generations. 15. Shirley Chisholm, November 30, 1924 to January 1, 2005. Shirley Chisholm shattered political barriers as the first African American woman elected to the United States Congress and the first woman to run for the Democratic Party's nomination for President of the United States, pioneering the way for women in U.S. politics. 16. Mae Jemison. Mae Jemison broke new ground in science and exploration as the first African American woman astronaut in space. On September 12, 1992, aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour, Jemison's mission marked a significant milestone in the history of space exploration and for women of color in STEM. 17. Marjorie Lee Brown, September 9, 1914 to October 19, 1979. As one of the first African American women to earn a PhD in mathematics, Marjorie Lee Brown's contributions to mathematics and education are profound. Her work as an educator and advocate for women and minorities in the sciences paved the way for future generations in academia. 18. Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett. Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett is recognized for her instrumental role in the development of the mRNA vaccine for COVID-19. As a viral immunologist, her work has been pivotal in the fight against the pandemic, marking a significant achievement in medical science and public health. 19. Judy Smith. Judy Smith, whose career as a crisis management expert inspired the hit TV series Scandal, has been a pioneer in public relations and strategic communication. As the first African-American woman to helm a major crisis management firm, Smith's trailblazing path in a highly competitive field underscores her expertise and resilience. 20. Lorraine Hansberry, May 19, 1930 to January 12, 1965. Lorraine Hansberry was the first African-American female playwright to have a play performed on Broadway. Her best-known work, A Raisin in the Sun, highlights the struggles of Black Americans and has left an indelible mark on American theater, illustrating the power of art to provoke thought and drive social change. 21. Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama, as the first African-American First Lady of the United States, brought grace, intelligence, and strength to her role, advocating for poverty awareness, education, nutrition, physical activity, and healthy eating. Her initiatives and campaigns have made significant impacts on national and global scales, redefining the role of the First Lady and inspiring women and girls worldwide. 22. Valerie Thomas. An inventor, scientist, and data analyst, Valerie Thomas made significant contributions to the field of imaging processing and space science. Notably, she invented the illusion transmitter, a device that produces optical illusion images, demonstrating her innovative spirit and pioneering work in technology that has potential applications in NASA's research and beyond. 23. Althea Gibson, August 25, 1927 to September 28, 2003. Althea Gibson broke color barriers in international tennis, becoming the first African-American woman to compete on the World Tennis Tour and to win a Grand Slam title in 1956. Her successes in tennis and later in professional golf challenged segregated norms in sports and paved the way for future generations of athletes. 24. Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice distinguished herself as a key figure in American politics, serving as the first African-American woman to hold the position of the U.S. National Security Advisor, and later as the Secretary of State. Rice's tenure in these roles marked a pivotal shift in the involvement of women of color in shaping U.S. foreign policy and national security strategies. 25. Constance Baker Motley. September 14, 1921 to September 28, 2005. Constance Baker Motley made history as the first African-American woman to serve as a federal judge. Appointed to the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York in 1966, Motley's groundbreaking appointment marked a significant moment in the judicial history of the United States, showcasing her enduring legacy in the fight for civil rights and her pioneering role in the legal profession. 26. Ketanji Brown Jackson. Ketanji Brown Jackson stands as a historic figure in the judiciary as the first African-American woman to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States. Her confirmation in 2022 shattered a long-standing barrier in the highest court, representing a monumental stride toward diversity and inclusion within the American legal system. 27. Dorothy Dandridge, November 9, 1922 to September 8, 1965. Dorothy Dandridge, a celebrated actress and singer, achieved historical significance as the first African-American woman nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress. Her trailblazing career in the entertainment industry, marked by her talent and resilience in the face of systemic racial barriers, showcases her pioneering achievements in breaking new ground for actors of color in Hollywood. 28. Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson. Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson is a physicist who became the first African-American woman to earn a doctorate from MIT. Her distinguished career in theoretical physics and her leadership in science and education, serving as the president of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, place her among the pioneers in science and technology. 29. Wilma Rudolph, June 23, 1940 to November 12, 1994. Wilma Rudolph was a world-renowned sprinter who became the first American woman to win 3 gold medals in track and field at a single Olympics in 1960. Overcoming childhood polio to achieve her Olympic triumphs, Rudolph's legacy extends beyond her athletic achievements to her work in education and her role as a pioneer in sports and social change. 30. Marian Anderson, February 27, 1897 to April 8, 1993. Marian Anderson was an acclaimed contralto singer who became the first African-American to perform at the Metropolitan Opera in 1955. Her exceptional talent and the barriers she broke in the world of classical music make her a trailblazing figure in the arts. 31. Dr. Patricia Bath, November 4, 1942 to May 30, 2019. Dr. Patricia Bath was a pioneering ophthalmologist and inventor, becoming the first African-American woman to receive a medical patent. Her invention of the laser phaco probe revolutionized cataract surgery, making her a groundbreaking figure in medicine and technology. Who turned the tide in science and technology, the unsung heroines of progress? 32. Annie Easley, April 23, 1933 to June 25, 2011. Annie Easley was a trailblazer at NASA, where her work as a computer scientist and mathematician helped lay the groundwork for future space missions. Her contributions to the development of center rocket technology have been pivotal. Despite facing racial and gender discrimination, Easley's resilience and dedication to her work broke barriers and paved the way for future generations of women in STEM. 33. Katherine Johnson, August 26, 1918 to February 24, 2020. Katherine Johnson, whose life and career were highlighted in the movie Hidden Figures, was a mathematician whose calculations of orbital mechanics were critical to the success of the first and subsequent U.S. manned spaceflights. Johnson's work at NASA spanned 35 years, and her calculations helped ensure that the Apollo missions and the Space Shuttle program was successful. Her dedication and precision in a field dominated by men have made her an enduring symbol of excellence and perseverance in STEM. 34. Gladys West. Gladys West is a mathematician whose groundbreaking work in geodesy led to the development of the Global Positioning System, GPS. Her contributions were crucial in creating the mathematical modeling of the Earth's shape, essential for the accuracy of GPS technology. Despite the pivotal nature of her work, West's role remained largely unrecognized for decades. Her dedication and precision have played a significant role in shaping the technology that underpins modern navigation, communications, and various other applications of GPS, making her a true pioneer in her field. 35. Dorothy Vaughan, September 20, 1910 to November 10, 2008. Dorothy Vaughan was a mathematician and human computer at NASA, known for her expertise in Fortran, a computer programming language that was critical to the success of the U.S. space program. As the first African-American manager at NASA, Vaughan broke racial and gender barriers, mentoring many of the next generation of scientists and engineers, including many women of color. Her legacy is celebrated for transforming the possibilities for African-American women in engineering and technology. Who led the charge? The African-American Women's Front and Center for Civil Rights. 36. Fannie Lou Hamer, October 6, 1917 to March 14, 1977. Fannie Lou Hamer emerged from the cotton fields of Mississippi to become a towering figure in the civil rights movement. Known for her stirring speeches and songs, Hamer's testimony at the 1964 Democratic National Convention spotlighted the brutal racism of the Jim Crow South. It helped to shift the nation's perspective on civil rights. 37. Daisy Bates, November 11, 1914 to November 4, 1999. As the mentor to the Little Rock Nine, Daisy Bates played a pivotal role in the desegregation of Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. Her leadership and guidance were instrumental in one of the most significant events in the American civil rights movement, ensuring the students' safety and the right to equal education. 38. Ella Baker, December 13, 1903 to December 13, 1986. Ella Baker's grassroots philosophy of organizing was foundational to the success of the civil rights movement. With a career that spanned over 5 decades, Baker worked alongside some of the most famous civil rights leaders, helping to found the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, and advocating for participatory democracy. 39. Gloria Richardson, May 6, 1922 to July 15, 2021. A leading figure in the civil rights movement, Gloria Richardson was known for her leadership in the Cambridge movement in Maryland. Her uncompromising stance and direct action tactics helped achieve racial equality and economic justice, marking her as one of the pivotal civil rights leaders of her time. 40. Queen Mother Moore, July 27, 1898 to May 2, 1997. A pivotal figure in the civil rights and Black nationalism movements, Queen Mother Moore's activism was extensive and impactful. Advocating for African American rights, she was particularly renowned for her steadfast push for reparations for slavery. Her work spanned across various platforms and movements, making significant contributions to the empowerment of the Black community and advocating for economic justice and equality. Her legacy lives on as a testament to her dedication to the cause of justice and her influence on future generations of activists. 41. Alberta Williams King, September 13, 1904 to June 30, 1974. Alberta Williams King was not only the mother of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but a pivotal figure in her own right within the early civil rights movement. Her dedication to social equality and her profound influence on her son's upbringing highlight the crucial role family plays in shaping societal leaders. Her story is a testament to the power of maternal influence in the fight for civil rights. Who changed the face of politics and leadership? The African American women who led with distinction. 42. Carol Moseley Braun. Carol Moseley Braun broke significant ground as the first African American woman elected to the U.S. Senate. Her service as a senator from Illinois from 1993 to 1999 not only challenged the historical underrepresentation of African American women in Congress, but also laid a foundation for future leaders aiming to enter the political arena. 43. Maxine Waters. As a long-serving member of the U.S. House of Representatives, Maxine Waters has been a formidable advocate for social justice, economic equity, and the empowerment of marginalized communities. Waters' relentless pursuit of justice and her powerful voice in Congress have underscored the critical role of African American women in legislative processes and governance. 44. Karen Bass. Karen Bass has made significant contributions to political leadership, particularly in her roles within the U.S. House of Representatives. Her leadership, especially as the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, has been instrumental in advancing the discussion and legislation on critical issues affecting African American communities and the nation at large. 45. Mary McLeod Bethune, July 10, 1875 to May 18, 1955. An educator and civil rights leader, Mary McLeod Bethune became an influential figure in American politics through her role as an advisor to several U.S. presidents and her founding of the National Council of Negro Women. Her legacy in education and political activism cements her status as a trailblazer in politics and leadership, who transformed the business world. The African American women pioneers in entrepreneurship. 46. Claire Muhammad, November 2, 1899 to August 12, 1972. As the wife of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Clara Muhammad was instrumental in establishing the educational framework of the Nation of Islam through the Muhammad University of Islam schools. Her pioneering efforts in religious and educational leadership significantly impacted community development and Islamic education in America. 47. Ursula Burns. Ursula Burns stands out as a trailblazer in the corporate world, having served as the CEO of Xerox Corporation from 2009 to 2016. She made history as the first African-American woman to lead a Fortune 500 company, marking a significant milestone in the business world. Burns' leadership at Xerox, focusing on innovation and transformation, has paved the way for future leaders in technology and business, demonstrating the impact of diversity in executive roles. 48. Janice Bryant Howroyd. Janice Bryant Howroyd is a pioneering figure in the staffing industry, having founded ACT, One Group, the largest minority woman-owned employment agency in the United States. Beginning in 1978, her entrepreneurial journey has been characterized by innovation, tenacity, and a dedication to excellence. Howroyd's achievements in business showcase the significant contributions of African American women to the economy and the power of inclusive leadership. 49. Melody Hobson. Co-CEO of Ariel Investments, Melody Hobson has distinguished herself as a formidable leader in finance. Beyond her role at one of the largest African American-owned investment firms, Hobson is celebrated for her advocacy for financial literacy and diversity in corporate America, inspiring many with her dedication to inclusivity and empowerment. 50. Marian Wright Edelman. Marian Wright Edelman, founder of the Children's Defense Fund, has been a pioneering force in advocating for children's rights and welfare. Her leadership has significantly influenced policies and programs supporting low-income families and children, marking her as a key figure in social entrepreneurship and nonprofit advocacy. 51. Rosalind Brewer. Rosalind Brewer is noted for her leadership in corporate America, currently serving as the CEO of Walgreens Boots Alliance. Brewer's roles as one of the few African American women leading a Fortune 500 company spotlight her as a trailblazer in business and leadership. Well, that's a wrap on our journey highlighting 51 trailblazers, African American women who broke barriers, showcasing the remarkable women whose courage and achievements have profoundly impacted our world. If these stories inspire you, please like and subscribe. Your support helps spotlight these narratives. Let's keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts and favorite trailblazers in the comments. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.